So much.
I did solo, so thanks for doing it without me.
It's been a hot minute.
It has.
Well,
It
for
has.
this, because clearly you
I'm
and I.
glad we're finally together again, doing it together. So
Yes. So, I know we're running a pinch behind. So, if you want to start intros, I'm good with that.
let's do it. Well, guys, I am Jason Poole. I'm a travel advisor with Cruise Planners. Love talking about all things travel related. We have a lot of things that are a little different than we normally discuss today. So I'm really excited. My travel partner, my show partner, my can't call her a life partner, but it feels that way at
It
times.
does.
My dear friend Haley, how are you? Tell us a little bit about what you do and your travel expertise.
In a way, till death do us part does apply. We're just going to throw it there. But my name is Haley. I own the hotel sales support company, Hospitality with a Flair. I've been in hotel world for over 16 years now. Travel all over. Love Europe. Love cruising. Love Disney. All the things. So we have some fun ones to talk about today. I think the first one I wanted to cover this last week, but I'm like, I've got to wait for Jason.
Yeah.
Here.
Um, so are you going to change the graphic? Is it there? We go.
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, cool. I was like, I'll make sure we were on the same page here. So, as you guys know, a couple weeks ago, Haley and I talked about the changes to the Delta Sky, um, Sky Miles program at length, as far as the medallion changes, what's coming, and just the full-on outrage. I mean, every post they do on Instagram now, just about like general travel posts, the comments are on fire. Okay. So it's bad. It is really bad. So Delta has said, hey, maybe we went too far. Let's maybe walk back some of these changes. That's great. Now, I'm looking at this two different ways, Haley. I'm curious which way you kind of lean.
Do we really want my answer?
I do. So on one hand, it's like, yay, they're listening to us. This is great. The other hand, this is not the first time they've announced some changes that are not super customer friendly and then backtrack them. The no entering the sky clubs after arrival. They've made some changes and they've backtracked. Do you think the backtracking is part of the plan, or do you think they were truly surprised and they're listening to people?
I think it's a blend of both.
Okay.
Because I do think Delta tends to get very cocky with their loyalty.
Yep.
And where they've positioned themselves in general. I think it's also like you can't negotiate up, bringing sales world into this. So you got to start somewhere. Like, I do not deny that that's where they want to be.
Yeah, sure. Yes, I agree.
And I think this is that test of starting to get there. Be like, all right, we want to do this, but we heard you. And we're actually going to, kind of come back and do it this way, because then that way they get a little bit more, their people feel heard to a degree. But that's eventually where they want to be. And that's where I look at it from a loyalty standpoint, is that pending the changes, I'm still going to be making moves in 2024 to earn loyalty with another major carrier.
Okay. I'm still holding on for now, but I am open to negotiations.
I think for me that this is where they want to go. And they have this, Jason and I played with it last night. So if you are a Delta fan, there is a link in there that says, see what status you'll be. And like, when I did mine, it was like silver, barely gold, depending on my flight spend. It was like $1,000 difference.
I was gold.
Very humbled, very humbled last night.
Like I'm going to go from diamond to gold.
Yeah, that's just how drastic it is. And I think and I'll probably talk about it on this show a little bit more with tips, but I've started to share with Jason how I have been maneuvering myself.
Yeah.
And it takes work, but I'm kind of also piloting that out so that we can talk about that.
Right. And also, I don't think people realize too, if you fly partner airlines, if your status gets lowered, you fall from that like SkyTeam Elite Plus down to like SkyTeam Elite. Like, I'm flying Air France on a short little flight in a couple of weeks. I was able to take advantage of my SkyTeam Elite Plus benefits. Pick the seat for free, got a better seat for free, extra baggage, like party boarding.
I was able to do that with the flight that I booked on Air France out of Toronto in March with all the group that's coming with me. Like, I made the reservation.
Right.
So I was able to like pick seats, pick this, pick that.
Well, keeping in the airline, there's really not much to talk about this, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. All the American-based carriers, AA, Delta, United, and other airlines have stopped flying to Israel, specifically Tel Aviv. No surprise, cruise lines are starting to alter itineraries. People are asking me, should I reschedule my April, May, June trip? I'm like, it's way too early to reschedule your plans. Like, it is way too early. But just kind of had to bring it up and talk about it. So, which is a shame, because I've been to Tel Aviv, and it's a beautiful city. I mean, it really is a beautiful city.
My mom's friend was actually on the last flight going out of Tel Aviv a couple days ago. Like, just, I can't imagine. And I think not travel related, but the fact that we're watching this all like on social media.
Oh, I know.
Like, that is so mind blowing.
I know.
To think of, but
I agree. All right.
And lighter news.
Other news. We have a new ship. Royal Caribbean announced the new name. So in January, we're seeing the first of a class, Icon of the Seas. That is the first in the new series of ships, Icon class. We finally got the second name, Star of the Seas. Haley, what do you think of that name?
I hate it. I know it's a little PG-13 here, but it feels like a stripper name. I don't know why, but I just am like, I struggle with it. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks about it, because
I don't love that.
And it's so short. Like, you have Icon and like Anthem or Oasis. Like, I think it's so short that it's like, where's the rest of it?
Well, and I just don't think like Moon of the Seas or Sun of the. I don't know. I just think there need to be more words. Like, their suite program, they have Star Class. Like, I like that being like a descriptor of a class, not like a formal name.
So I have a question for you. Do you see eventually, as the Icon class grows, more of the Oasis fleet getting flipped to shorter sailings?
Oh yeah, I mean we're already seeing it, because Utopia, the brand new one, right? They are debuting the final Oasis class ship, Utopia of the Seas, is debuting in Port Canaveral, doing 3 and 4 night sailings. Like, that's what it's doing. And like, yeah, I mean, look, Royal Caribbean really is focusing on, and a lot of brands are, but Royal Caribbean especially, their strategic planning is new to cruise, right? Everything they do is they want to bring new cruisers on their ships. And a lot of people are afraid to try a 7-night Caribbean cruise as their first sailing. They think it's too long. I hear all the time, oh, my husband won't like it. He's worried we'll be bored on a ship, blah, 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 right? So introducing a new ship, doing a 3 and 4 night, I think makes some sense. And we're starting to see.
You and I have talked about, like, first time cruisers that have come to you and they're like, hey, I see this, really inexpensive sailing on the Grandeur.
Right. It's like,
and it's a family with, like young kids and stuff.
Yes,
like,
No. But look, we're seeing celebrity do it too, right? I mean, we're seeing celebrity doing 3-4 nights on Celebrity Reflection, which I think is a fantastic ship. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of Utopia, obviously. But if you're adults going without kids, I think Reflection makes more sense than Utopia does.
Adults going with older kids, because
Right.
like I've talked about on here, like Olivia's kind of reached that point where, don't get me wrong, would she love that stop at Coco Cay 100%? But she likes relaxing on vacation. She likes room service. She, likes when we do a mommy and me massage. That's her vibe. But no, I think that's kind of, I kind of wonder where more of these older ships are going to go. I'm wondering if they're just going to put them on those really, really long or.
I mean, eventually you start. So when new ships come out, they tend to do Caribbean, and then in the summer they do Med. Like that's kind of new ship, right? Icon staying in the Caribbean year round. I'm kind of surprised by that, but it might just be too big
Too big to go over
for some of the Med ports, right? But you look at Celebrity Ascent, Caribbean, and then it's going Med, right? But when ship class has been out for a while, they are able to start like spreading them around, right? Because you now have Allure out of Galveston, and it's going to move to Florida, and I think it's doing some short sailings too, if I remember correctly.
I mean, I think the Port Canaveral choice is also to compete with Disney's new ship.
Oh, it is. I mean, I book a lot of people who will book a Disney, a Disneyland-based couple nights, and then they'll hop on a ship out of Port Canaveral. And as much as Disney would love to put them on, the Dream or the Wish or whatever, like some of those prices can be quite high.
Stifling.
Quite high. So yeah, so welcome to the family Star of the Seas. I'm sure we'll grow to like it. I mean, I also kind of hate the name, but we'll grow. We'll grow to like it. So I think this next news was really welcome. And you've dealt with this on a personal level with some family members.
Yeah.
So flying with a wheelchair, or I'll say just equipment in general, can often provide additional challenges and hurdles to overcome. You've had to deal with this.
Yes.
And Delta, we talked about a couple months ago, Delta's rolling out a new like wheelchair seat, which I think is really nice. So there's been some additional improvements and progress in this area. Well, United is now introducing a new search tool that has a flight filter designed for wheelchair users. So I think that's really welcome. I hope we see this become a trend.
I hope it is, because I will tell you, like, my dad's not wheelchair bound. And I mean, I was on a work trip once where, flying somebody who can't completely use their legs, their scooter was damaged, their wheelchair, like electric, it was just not great. And it is a challenge for people that have those accessibility issues, like, and even just like older people that can't like walk the distances.
Right.
Like, planning like this trip to Europe, like figuring out which like London tube stations have an elevator and stuff, and same with Paris, because not all of the public transit is necessarily accessible. Like the ADA is not a thing in Europe. So I think anything like that is super, super welcomed.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I think that is great. Sticking with airlines, this is a little esoteric, but I thought it was interesting. Scandinavian Airlines, everyone calls them SAS, was in some financial trouble. Air France KLM came in, bought a stake in them, so they own a decent chunk of SAS now. And because of that, SAS is going to be leaving Star Alliance, which is United's partnership, and joining SkyTeam. It's going to take a little while, but that is welcome news for those of us staying on the Delta SkyTeam bandwagon, just to have more partner airlines. So it's in Europe. I think that's welcome.
It's great news for people that also want to go to Europe in the summer and see those Delta prices and are like, because typically SAS is a lower cost.
Yes.
Carrier. So you can get to Europe sometimes. I've seen them because I'm just like, ugh, not in the alliance, not going to get me anything.
Oh, I've sorted by business class, and SAS is often like fairly affordable.
Yeah.
So look, this summer I did a layover in Paris with Air France to get to Rome. Why? Saved. I don't mind the I don't mind the partner airlines. Go hang out in the cool airport. I mean, Charles de Gaulle, it's massive, but it's a cool airport. I mean, you're running past Chanel and Dior stores, changing terminals. Like it's cool. Like
No, 100%. But yeah, no, I'm here
so
for
speaking of Paris, that was not the plan.
it. It just fell this way, everybody.
So I am flying to Europe, to Paris specifically, late next week. I know last week on the show solo, you talked about the bed bugs. They continue to be an
Your favorite topic.
issue. Haley, how are you feeling about the bed bug situation in Paris?
I've gone back and forth with it. And I think I feel more comfortable going to Paris now. Obviously, a little bit more hyper alert. But it blows my mind where people are like, oh my God, if you're in Paris, don't come back here. Don't bring it here. It's here. There's bed bugs. Anyways, like New York City, I swear, has a post a couple times a year about a bed bug outbreak. Like, it's
Okay.
not new. I think there's a lot of like social media going like, oh my God, like I don't doubt that there's issues. Like if they're that visible on the metro in Paris, like that's a problem. Not gonna like sugarcoat it. Will I be probably taking the metro? Probably not. I'll probably be budgeting for a little extra ride share on this, but like bed bugs are brought in by people, and of course there's going to be a higher chance of bed bugs in highly populated and traveled areas. um so I am going to be amping up my traveling a little bit. I'm going to be bringing some gallon zip blocks and some of those vacuum roll bags that I've used in the past, and all my dirty clothes are going in there so that when I get home, they're just going to go right to, hot dryer, hot wash. I'm going to be a little bit more.
What do you think about these like disposable sheets? I'm saying for you bring your own disposable sheets for the
So
hotel.
I've seen that one, and I won't lie, that one makes me laugh a little bit because people also think that if there's a mattress cover, you're fine. And you're not. Because if there's a mattress cover of those, they can also, and this is also why I'm not a fan of fabric headboards, they can go up between the fabric headboard and
I have one.
the wall. I have one at my house. I'm talking about in hotels, so I should preface that. They can technically actually live up to a year without a host. So some like they have been found when like bat infestations like in the electrical outlets.
So is the refresher?
So good about going in a week and a half. But
I'm not gonna lie. I'm apprehensive about going.
there's a bit of me that's apprehensive. Like I still have a plan B. Like if it's not showing better signs in a few weeks, I have a plan B to the
Well,
second
I will be on the ground. We will report.
recording live.
No, but look, when I get to the hotel room, I will freely admit I've seen your video, the one that I think it went on BuzzFeed, right?
Yeah.
Your hotel. What do you look for? I will freely admit I've never done it. Okay, never done it. I've already talked to my friend going with me. You know him, Michael. We have already discussed at length. We are putting our luggage in the front door, and then we are getting out our phone flashlights, and we are inspecting that room top to bottom. We've already discussed it. So I'm gonna rewatch your video as a refresher.
The whole ride over. Refresh.
So I mean, look, I will. Anyways, moving on before I hit cancel on my trip.
Exactly. So I haven't even shared this tip with Jason.
No, I'm excited for this.
I just discovered it. So we've shown you guys with Google Flights how you can use the calendar and kind of see what the prices are during different times of the year. And there is a way to do that with Hyatt Rewards, because I know the last thing you hate is when you're looking for a hotel, trying to use those points that you've saved up, and you're like, oh, unavailable, unavailable. And you have to go through and click through each one, right? Well, with Hyatt, you don't need to do that anymore. There's a credit card called Bilt, B-I-L-T. You can actually use it to pay your rent and stuff like that. It's a great entry level card. I wouldn't necessarily call it a travel credit card, but it's kind of like a junior travel credit card, like not full fledged, but junior. You can actually sign up for their rewards program for free without the credit card.
Okay.
And when you log in and go to search on their travel, there's a travel tab. Put in your location, put in that you're looking by points. Depending on which device you're on, you can actually filter down by Hyatt. And there's a calendar, and you can kind of see what days Hyatt rewards are available for. So just a little thing.
I love it. You know, I love Hyatt, even though I'm slowly kind of looking more Marriott's. That's a whole nother conversation. I do love a Hyatt. I love it.
For any Hyatt lovers that need to spend some points or want to spend some points, check it out.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. We'll have one more show next week before I am bug hunting. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Haley, have a great day. I'm going to go watch a YouTube video on repeat now about
Excellent. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.